Hey everyone, welcome back. Our next guest is a real estate developer, a strategy consultant, and owner of the Boogie Down Grind Cafe that's been recently named Best Cafe in NYC by Time Out New York for 2021. She joins us today to speak about her new book, Reclaiming Your Community. You don't have to move out of your neighborhood to live in a better one, that explains how brain drain cripples low status communities and maps out a development strategy focused on talent retention to help them break out of economic stagnation. Endorsed by In the Heights and Hamilton's creator, Lin-Manuel Miranda, who says it's an exciting conversation worth joining. And here to discuss it further is owner of the Boogie Down Grind and author of Reclaiming Your Community, my longtime friend, Majora Carter. Yay!
Hi, Rhina.
Hi. I mean, and that comes across really long-winded, but you know, they have to read up on you further to understand that you're like you've got like 8 honorary PhDs, you're a MacArthur Fellow, and you know, it's important for I think everyone to understand.
And most importantly, I'm an around the way girl from the Boogie Down.
That's what's up.
Let's add that.
Yeah, no, that's what's up. And that's the beauty of it, right?
Yep.
That's the beauty of this book because you're keeping it local.
Yes, very much so.
Well, congratulations on this.
Thank you.
I mean, you've done a lot for the neighborhood thus far, but to take it to this level of like providing like a roadmap for people to model, it's outstanding. It's outstanding. So first, let's talk about Boogie Down Grind. Let's talk about Boogie Down Grind because that is like the trending spot to be at in the Bronx.
Well, you know, I'm really proud of it, but it really does epitomize one of the reasons why I wrote this book, because reclaiming your community is about literally our approach to community development, which is a talent retention strategy. And when we started thinking about being real estate developers and why, it was because there really wasn't a whole lot of support, you know, to really contain and capture all the talent that's from our community to stay here. And when we asked them, well, why are you leaving? Many of the things that they came back with was, well, bottom line is like, I want places cool to hang out in, you know, with my friends and my people. And so they would list things like cafes and bookstores and, you know, and restaurants. And we realized we weren't building that here. So we took a page from the business community, which is like, if you've got top performers in your company, you do what you need to do to keep them. And why don't we do that in our own communities, you know, communities like the South Bronx or Native American reservations, or even, you know, former booming, you know, towns that all white people lived in, but, you know, now don't have any industry. So why don't we do that? And we realized that that's, you know, we had to check out like why we do that in certain types of communities, you know, in America. And then I worked to create an approach to keep us here. And that's why the Boogie Down Grind evolved. Because we wanted that space.
And is succeeding and thriving and becoming, it's even becoming its own like cultural institution, because I know you also offer like workshops at the Boogie Down Grind.
Well, we don't do most of them. I mean, that's the thing. Boogie Down Grind is literally just a vessel that the talent in our own community can showcase themselves. So we hope to have the space in it. You know, folks will host open mics or credit repair workshops. I mean, we've had somebody talk about Bitcoin up in their author events. And again, what we did was literally create the infrastructure for people in our own community to see the value of reinvesting their own talent, their money, their, you know, just their almost their emotions into reclaiming our own community.
Right, hence the book, right? So let's dive into the book, because the book itself, from the pages I read, it seems as though it's also a autobiographical story interwoven into this roadmap. So how important was that for you to share your story that I'm sure most people don't know about?
Well, I was like a lot of kids. I was that kid, you know, who, when born and raised in the South Bronx, who was led to believe that you need to measure success by how far you get away from the community. You know, we love Cinderella stories, both here and in low status communities anywhere around the country. But the idea that, you know, if you're going to grow up and be somebody, you can't do it here was kind of like, once I realized like this is a problem that is literally, degrading like the both the economic and the social fabric of our own community. When we believe that, our communities don't really have much value in them while we're in them, so we seek our fortunes, elsewhere. And that's why, Reclaiming Your Community, the book is about challenging the notion of measuring success by how far we get away from our communities, because we don't believe that gentrification starts to happen when you see things like doggy daycares and, cute cafes in places where you didn't see them before. It starts happening when we don't see the value in them and act accordingly.
And so what are you hoping? I mean, obviously we know that your goal is to create this movement, and quite frankly speaking, you have already, but in putting it in this book form, like, what do you hope is going to, I guess, galvanize communities to really take what you've written into consideration?
Well, my hope is that this book is going to validate those who want to love up on their community and inspire those on the verge of thinking like, yo, I got to get out of here, and give those who are the reasons to want to stay and support wherever they are, and re-examine their own communities and recognize that they actually have something not only just to give, but also to gain by being a part, of the future of its own redevelopment. And so for me, it's just like understanding that people can make a positive difference wherever they are, and hopefully in service of the communities that they were born and raised in.
And so I know you also have created this investment possibilities, right?
Mhm.
Investment possibilities, and you do them at a low level investing, right? And I'm saying this because I know that of you, and I love that you are passing that on to the next generation. And as a real estate developer, you're reinvesting into the community. And so, in this book, is there that knowledge of what it takes to even make those kind of investments?
Yeah, I mean, there's bits about all of it in there, and it essentially from it being semi, I guess, sort of autobiographical, because I use like my story as a way to tell the story about talent retention as a community development strategy. So yeah, so with regard to the idea that we can use our own small investments, and it's like I didn't make it up. That was the U.S. Security Exchange Commission, essentially saying that small investors can now invest in real estate development projects. So we wanted to take full advantage of that in service of our community, so that they would feel like they can actually do that, because now they can. So we're going to do it we've done it for the Boogie Down Grind. There was actually a revenue share that we did after COVID opened, and we're going to be doing it for another local project here, which is the redevelopment of the former Hunts Point rail station into an event hall. So more on that later, and people could find out about that from our websites in various places. But
And
really,
so, no, go ahead. No, sorry.
but really, the whole point of what talent retention means and what this book is about is that retaining homegrown talent, it's a critical part of creating a strong local, economy that can resist gentrification. And because right now we know that so many people born in low status communities measure success by how far they get away from them, and reinvest their money in places that actually that aren't their home, or hometowns anyway. And not that we're saying, don't go, don't leave or whatever, because not everybody is going to do this. But at the very least, we want folks to give their communities a second look and recognize that they have more power than they think they do in terms of helping to create the kind of future that they want in their own communities.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. And thank you for bringing it to our viewers. Visionary Majora Carter. She is like living it and being it and doing it. And, the book itself is just another aspect to what she's already contributed to the community. And we're so proud of you. And thank you for being here with us. And you guys, once again, Reclaiming Your Community, the book, You Don't Have to Move Out of Your Neighborhood to Live in a Better One, is out now and available at the Lit Bar, another local institute, right? It's a bookstore on 131 Alexander Avenue in the Mott Haven section of the Bronx. Support your local businesses, and of course, anywhere books are sold. And you can visit majoracartergroup.com. And of course, oh, we forgot to mention, but I'm going to let you know that there's a Valentine's event happening called the Love Train at the Boogie Down Grind. It starts at 7 o'clock. The Boogie Down Grind is located at 868 Hunts Point Avenue in the Bronx. And for more info on that, you can visit them on IG at Boogie Down Grind. We have to take a quick break, but when we return, we're going to hear about a new novel that tells the story of how one traumatic event changes the lives of an entire South Bronx community. Don't go anywhere.